The Galactic Council was the most powerful organization in the universe. It ruled over more than 1,000 planets, 5 galaxies, and hundreds of alien races. From the shining halls of the Central Station, Council members made all the decisions about peace, trade, and war, and for many years they believed they controlled everything. But they were wrong. There was one planet they didn't fully understand: Earth. Earth was small compared to most Council worlds. It didn't have high-tech cities floating in the sky. It didn't have space elevators or plasma highways between planets. And for the longest time, Earth stayed quiet, too quiet. Some Council members thought Earth was weak, primitive, slow. Others warned, no, they are not weak. They are watching, preparing. But no one listened. The Council meeting inside the main Council chamber, the top leaders sat in a circle. Lights flickered from the ceiling as holograms of different star systems floated above. Hi. Chancellor Vorn of the Creel race slammed his hand on the table. The humans ignore our laws. They don't attend meetings. They block our scans. And now they've built something near Jupiter, a large structure. Maybe it's just a science station, one counselor said. No, Vorn growled. It's a shipyard, and it's not building ordinary ships. A dangerous decision. After hours of arguments, the Council made a decision. Send a fleet, Vorn declared, just to remind them who rules the stars. Many nodded. One old alien counselor, Threx, raised a bony hand. Be careful. The humans are not as simple as they seem. Vorn laughed. They can't even leave their solar system. What could they possibly do to us? So, the Council sent a warning fleet, 5 battlecruisers, 2 stealth destroyers, and 1 diplomatic ship, all heading straight for Earth. Earth's response as the fleet entered the solar system. They expected a reply from Earth, maybe fear, maybe panic. But Earth didn't respond. Not for hours then. A signal came. It wasn't a video. It wasn't a message of surrender. It was a simple audio transmission. The voice was human, male, and calm to calm. Galactic Council. You are approaching restricted space. Turn back. You have one chance. That was it. Then silence. The alien fleet commander, Captain Droven, laughed. That's it. That's their warning. He gave the order to continue. But, just as they crossed Mars' orbit, something happened. First sight of the Dark Shadow appeared on their radar. Big, cold, silent, a ship, unlike anything seen before. No energy readings, no life forms. It didn't use plasma engines or solar sails. It moved, like it was sliding through space itself. Like space was folding around it. The alien ships locked weapons. Suddenly their systems failed. Weapons offline, engines offline, shields down. Panic spread through the fleet. One by one, their ships lost control. The dark objects stopped in front of them. No words, no shots fired, just presence then. One small message came through, text only, on every screen. You were warned, and then? The dark object vanished. The lone survivor, only one ship made it back. The diplomatic vessel, badly damaged, limped into Council space 3 days later. The pilot was shaking, eyes wide, skin pale. He whispered only one sentence before collapsing. It wasn't a ship. It was alive. Chaos in the Council. Back at the Council chamber, fear spread like wildfire. They used dark matter tech. No one can control that. Impossible. Humans shouldn't even understand it. Some counselors demanded war, others begged for peace. But none could explain what the humans had just done. One scientist, Dr. Krava of the Telari species, stood and spoke. We ignored the signs. Earth's silence was not weakness. It was planning. She opened a file on the main screen. Satellite images, ancient reports, glimpses of hidden Earth projects. Words came up. Project Abyss, dark matter reactor, status, sealed, access level, Earth-only, and below that, awakens only when provoked. The Galactic Council had made a terrible mistake. They thought Earth was weak, that humanity was silent because it had nothing to say. But now, after the first fleet returned broken and scared, or didn't return at all, the Council sat in fear. Their ships were advanced, their weapons strong, but Earth had shown them something else, something far beyond Council understanding. Inside the Council chamber, the meeting hall was quiet. Normally, the chamber buzzed with arguments and political games. But now, every member sat stiff and silent on the central screen. The council replayed the same recording. Again and again, the dark shadow in space, the ships shutting down, and the final cold warning: you were warned. High Chancellor Vorn stood slowly. His voice was not loud this time. It was calm, but tight with fear. That thing was not a simple warship. It used something far beyond our science. A tech officer stepped forward. It moved through gravity itself. No propulsion, no heat, no radiation. It was folding space. Another counselor whispered, "Dark matter technology." But that's forbidden. Dr. Krava, the Talari scientist, nodded. It is forbidden, and Earth has it. We thought they were behind us, but they were simply quiet. The hidden message, suddenly, a new alert, appeared on the HOLO-screen. It wasn't sent directly to the Council. It was sent to everyone. Broadcasted across open space channels, the voice was human, clear, unshaken. To the Galactic Council, you entered our system without permission. You aimed your weapons at Earth. You ignored our silence. Now you have seen the edge of what we protect. We do not seek war, we do not threaten worlds, but we will not be tested again. Then the voice paused. A second later, a live feed began. The dark reveal the image showed a massive human ship floating in orbit over Saturn. But it was not like any normal ship. It was black as night. No lights, no engines, just shape. It was long, almost the size of a small moon, sharp like a spear, covered in strange patterns that shifted like shadows. A name slowly appeared on the ship's side: Abyska Silent, Storm, and underneath that, powered by dark matter, Core Status. Awake thought, the feed zoomed in. Strange energy moved around the ship. Like fog, alien tech officers across the galaxy watched in silence. They didn't understand it. No one did. Then, the feed ended. Transmission complete. The human voice said, "This is our only warning. The next move is yours." And the message ended. No return signal, no follow-up, just darkness. The reaction. Panic across the Council worlds. Civilians demanded answers. Military leaders screamed for action. Scientists locked themselves in labs, trying to understand the impossible. Was split. Some wanted to beg Earth for peace. Others, like Vorn, still wanted war. They are bluffing. Vorn shouted in the chamber. This is fear tactics. We are the Council. We rule the stars. But no one shouted with him this time. Even his own allies looked unsure. Secret plans in the shadows of the Council's central moon. A group of powerful races met in secret. They didn't believe the message, or maybe they did, but they didn't care. They wanted to prove the Council still ruled. They wanted to show the galaxy that Earth was just a planet, so they built something, a new fleet, faster, larger, silent, and this time it wouldn't ask questions. It would fly straight to Earth and strike the heart of the human world. Meanwhile, on Earth, beneath the oceans of the Pacific, in a hidden base deep below the surface, the leaders of Earth stood in silence. The human man who sent the message, Admiral Rourke, turned to his AI advisor. "Sigma, did they understand?" he asked. AI paused. "They heard us, but fear can make some minds deaf." Rourke sighed. "Prepare the fleet. Quietly, we will not strike unless they do. But if they do, no mercy." The walls of the command center showed multiple views of the solar system. Earth was calm, satellites in place, civilizations unaware of the danger above, but around Saturn and Jupiter. The shadows were moving. More ships were waking up. Abyska warships. Once hidden, now online. No heat, no sound, just presence. The silence before the storm space was quiet, dark, empty still, but just beyond Neptune's orbit, something moved, slow, hidden, deadly. The rogue Council fleet, over 300 ships, had broken away from the Galactic Council and was now approaching Earth. They called it Operation Shadow Strike. Their mission was simple: cripple Earth, destroy their warship factories, and send a message back to the galaxy. Earth is not a threat. They believed Earth had only 1 or 2 dark matter ships. They believed they could win with surprise. They were wrong. On board, the lead ship captain, Zeltak of the Creel race, stood. On the bridge of the lead ship, Vengeance Star. He was proud, cold, sure of victory. "Humans fear us," he told his crew. They pretend to be strong, but they hide behind shadows. His second-in-command asked, "And if they strike back?" Zeltak grinned. "Then they die in the dark." They powered down all external systems. Ran cold, ran silent, no heat, no signals, invisible, or so they thought. On Earth, they were watching far below the surface of Antarctica in a hidden control room. Earth's AI defense system Sigma detected the anomaly. Tiny gravitational shifts, light bending ever so slightly. It wasn't natural, Sigma whispered into the command room. "They're coming." AdmiralRourke.com, as always, stood before the command table. "Stealth fleet," SIGMA replied, confirmed. 317 ships, all armed. Estimated arrival, 6 hours. Rourke gave one short command: awaken Abyss. And deep in the black void, between Jupiter and Saturn, the Silent Ones began to move. A warship unlike any other. The first to move was Abyss-class warship. Void Reaper. It didn't launch engines, it didn't flash lights, it simply existed, a sphere of gravitational distortion. Around it twisted space itself, its hull absorbed all light, its presence bent reality, and inside, there was no crew, only a human AI hybrid system that understood war in a way no species could match. The attack begins. The rogue Council fleet reached Mars orbit. They launched drones, missiles, plasma bombs, all headed toward Earth's outer defense satellites. The first wave hit nothing. The second wave destroyed. Empty decoys. The third wave, it never reached its target because Earth was already there. The first contact from the shadow of Jupiter. 3 Abyss-class warships arrived. No sound, no warning, just presence. One Creel pilot screamed, "Something is folding space near us." Another shouted, "They're here, behind us." But it was already too late. The warships did not fire lasers. They didn't use missiles. Instead, they shut reality off. Entire alien ships went dark, all systems dead. Engines cold, weapons offline, crew frozen in panic. One ship, Lightstorm, drifted helplessly. Its captain crying, "What? What is happening? I can't move. I can't even breathe." Then, without any explosion or light, the ship vanished, not destroyed, just erased. Panic in the fleet. Captain Zeltak watched in horror as 1/3 of his fleet disappeared in minutes. He screamed, "Retreat! Send a message! Get us out of here!" But no signal left his ship. Even communications were cut. Dark matter warships were not weapons of destruction. They were weapons of silence. Suddenly, one human message came. Through .short.com.code, you ignored the first message. Now, you will not receive a second. Then, Earth's ships began to move through the fleet, not around them, through them, and wherever they passed, ships vanished, broken, or simply stopped existing. One ship escapes only. One small scout ship managed to flee the battlefield. Its engines had not fully powered up yet by chance. It wasn't caught in the first wave. It ran fast, without a target, without orders, and behind it, a message followed, chasing it through space like a whisper. Tell them, this was mercy. Galactic Council reaction when the escape ship returned to Council space. It was broken, scarred, no weapons, no crew, alive, except one pilot. He was pale, shaking. Eyes wide, he walked into the Council chamber and collapsed, and with his last breath, he said, "You tried to touch the abyss." It looked back, and it smiled. The chamber fell into silence. No one moved, not even Vor. The arrogance of the Council had ended, and Earth had not even entered their space. Earth had defended itself without firing a single bullet. The galaxy trembled. The Galactic Council sat frozen. Over 300 ships gone. No warning, no fight, just erased, and Earth had said nothing since. No message, no threat, no celebration, only silence. That silence now echoed louder than any war cry. Search for truth inside a Council research station orbiting the red giant star Kulvax. A young alien scientist named Laren worked alone in a dim room. He was part of the Historical Threat Division, a small team most Council leaders ignored. His job was to study extinct civilizations and old enemy files. But now, after the human strike, the Council sent him one command: find out what Earth is hiding. Laren opened the old data vault. These files were locked for hundreds of years, buried, forgotten, some even marked forbidden. He entered the Human Archive section, and then he found it. Project Abyss, access level, ultra-secure origin, Earth. Status: sealed danger level Arita his. Hands shook. He opened the file, and what he found made his skin crawl. The first video showed a human lab. 500 years ago, a woman in a white coat stood beside a large black sphere floating in the air. She spoke into a recorder, testing core density, dark matter stable, time distortion, confirmed. The next clip showed soldiers disappearing inside the sphere. Not dying, just vanishing. Time logs said they reappeared days later, but for them, only seconds had passed. Earth had discovered how to bend space and time. The Shiflerin skipped forward. Another file showed Earth's military leaders sitting at a round table. The date was over 300 years ago. One officer said, "We've gone too far. This technology, it's not just power, it's life. It thinks, it learns." Another added, "We didn't build a ship. We gave birth to something." A final message followed. If we are ever attacked from beyond our system, the Abyss will protect us. But if not provoked, it must sleep forever. And with that, Earth sealed the project, hid it, locked it away, until now, back at the Council, Laren rushed into the Council chamber, holding a data core. High Chancellor Vorn growled. "What is this?" Proof, Laren said. Earth didn't build warships. They created something else. They created living weapons powered by the core of space itself. He showed the recordings. The Council watched in silence. No one moved, no one blinked. Then Laren added, "And there's more. According to Earth's own files, the current warships are just prototypes." The chamber fell deathly quiet. Spreads on outer Council worlds. Fear broke into riots. Citizens demanded safety. Military fleets moved closer to home planets. Spies were sent toward Earth, but none returned. One message leaked to the public. The humans spoke once. Then they erased a fleet. What if they speak again? On Earth, a past remembered inside, Earth's Defense Command, Admiral Rourke stood in front of a sealed door. The sign read, "Abyss Core, do not UNSAL," but the door was already open. He walked. Inside Dot, in the center of the chamber, a strange object hovered. Not a machine, not alive, but something in between. Black, silent, pulsing, slowly. This was the source. It spoke not in words, but in thoughts it remembered. Rourke whispered, "You were only supposed to wake if Earth was in danger." The core replied in a low hum inside his mind, "Earth is in danger. Not from one fleet, not from war, but from ignorance. The galaxy has forgotten balance. So I bring fear. Fear brings pause. Pause brings peace." Elsewhere, another threat grows while, the Council argued, and Earth stayed quiet. Far in the galaxy's outer edge, another alien empire watched, not part of the Council, not interested in peace. They saw Earth's power. They saw the fear in the Council, and they smiled. "If Earth can silence the Council," said their leader, "then Earth must fall before it becomes a god." They began to build their own answer, a weapon not powered by science, but by rage. Final message uncovered back in the data vault. Liren found one last file from Earth, encrypted .old, .only, unlocked because Earth allowed it. He played the message. It was a human voice, calm, timeless. "If you're hearing this, we warned you once, and you didn't listen." Earth did not stay silent because it was afraid. We stayed silent because we were trying to be kind. But the Abyss remembers everything. And now so will you. Far from the Council, a new plan resides in the cold shadows of a dead moon near the Orion Rift. A secret base came alive. There were no lights, no signals, no official records, only hidden codes, stolen tech, and dangerous minds. And at the center of it all stood one alien, tall, shrapide, with gray skin and scars across his face. His name was Counselor Malek Avirex, but he was no longer part of the Galactic Council. He had been exiled, cast out, after the failed attack on Earth. But Malek didn't hide in shame. He prepared for war. His obsession, Earth Malek stared at a large hologram, the image of Earth's Abyss-class warships. He spoke to his generals. "The Council is weak. They fear Earth. They bow to humans like frightened children. He turned, voice sharp like a blade. "But I have seen what Earth truly is. They are not gods, they bleed, they burn. They just haven't been tested properly." Behind him, massive machines worked silently. Long black spires, stolen council, war drones, and fragments of alien AI cores were being fused together. Malik called it Project Wraithfire, a weapon made to do one thing: force the Abyss to fully awaken, push Earth beyond limits, and watch what breaks first, Earth or the galaxy. Dangerous allies. Malik didn't work alone. He found others who hated Earth's. Silence, a mad Creel engineer who believed dark matter should belong to all. A broken AI who once served the Council but now wanted chaos. And worst of all, a deep space scavenger who claimed to have found a piece of a destroyed Abyss warship and survived. Together, they began creating weapons designed not to kill Earth, but to make Earth lose control. The first test stone of Malik's new ships launched from the base, small, fast, invisible. It carried something strange, a frequency pulse made to disrupt dark matter. They sent it toward Saturn's orbit, where one of Earth's Abyss-class ships, Silent Storm, stood like a guardian. The pulse fired, the ship reacted, instantly, not with weapons, but with something worse. Earth's response in Earth's Antarctic Command Center. Alarms echoed. Sigma spoke calmly. Dark pulse detected. Origin, unknown. Target, Silent Storm. Admiral Rourke stepped forward. Response. SIGMA paused. No damage, but the ship changed. On the screen, Silent Storm began shifting. Its hull became darker. The patterns on it moved like a living thing. It drifted forward, toward deep space, without orders, without communication. Rourke frowned. "It's moving on its own." SIGMA answered. "Yes, the Abyss is no longer just responding. It's choosing." The rogue fleet expands back at Malik's base. The test was a success. They didn't destroy Earth's ship, but they made it act differently. Malik smiled. "Now we know. The Abyss can be pushed. It can be tempted, or broken." He ordered the creation of 3 more pulse ships. This time, they would fire together. Not to kill the Abyss, but to make it wake up completely. The Council begins to fracture back at the Galactic Council. Rumors of Malik's rogue operations spread fast. Some feared what he was building. Others believed. In his plan, one counselor even whispered, "Maybe he's right. Maybe Earth must be tested, so we know what we face." Paranoia spread. Alliances broke. The Council began spying on each other. Some even made secret pacts, preparing fleets in case Earth attacked first. But Earth had done nothing. Still, silence. And that silence was driving the galaxy mad. Meanwhile, Earth Prepares Rourke stood before a new hologram. Abyss warships were no longer just tools. They were becoming something more. "They're evolving," he said. Sigma responded. "They are learning, watching, adapting. But if pushed too far, their core will no longer act for defense. It will act for survival." Rourke narrowed his eyes, and when that happens, SIGMA's voice dropped. The galaxy will experience true extinction logic. The moon that wasn't a moon, the rogue pulse ship, sent by Counselor Malik, slowly entered orbit near Earth's moon. It was silent, invisible, hidden by advanced cloaking, but as soon as it fired the second pulse, aimed to disrupt the Abyss technology again, something strange happened. The moon shook. For a moment, the surface of Earth's moon shimmered. Then a huge crack appeared from beneath the ancient rock. A massive structure started rising. It wasn't a ship, it wasn't a base, it was something. Older, something buried, something waiting. Humanity's old secret back on Earth. Alarms screamed inside the Antarctic Command Center. Admiral Rourke stared at the giant screen. The moon was opening. "What the hell is that?" an officer shouted. SIGMAS. The voice answered calmly. "It is Facility Zero, hidden 200 years ago, coded as Failsafe Protocolo 01, Failsafe." Rourke asked, "For what?" "In case dark matter itself tried to rebel, or in case the galaxy forced Earth's hand, the Leviathan rises from the moon's broken surface." A black structure began to rise. Long, jot-sharp, covered in shifting layers of dark plating. It had no lights, no windows. It moved like it was alive. Earth had kept it secret for generations. They called it the Leviathan, a warship. Yes, but also a warning. Malik realizes the truth on his carrier. Watching the feed, Malik's eyes widened. That thing was on the moon this whole time. His AI whispered, "We miscalculated. That is not a warship. That is a command." Weapon? A galactic breaker? Malik screamed, "Fall back! Shut down all pulse signals." But it was too late. The message just then, Earth's Leviathan, transmitted one single message across the entire galaxy, not through words, not through a language, but through pure thought. Every species, every planet, every living being who had tech near them heard the same thing in their mind. "We warned you. You touched the abyss. Now we reveal what lies below it." And the transmission ended. Galaxy in Panicon, 100 different planets, leaders, and people trembled. The Galactic Council chambers went silent. Many collapsed in fear. Some counselors resigned instantly. Others tried to destroy all records of Earth. One simply cried, "They were never part of this galaxy. We never understood what they are. And now it's too late." Leviathan speaks to Saijime on Earth. Sigma opened a private channel. Leviathan has activated. Its systems are older than Earth's current era. It holds ... final deterrence. Rourke asked, "Is it here to destroy?" Sigma replied, "No, it is here to decide if Earth should finally show its true strength." Earth strikes first, without firing 3 stealth. Ships from Malik's fleet tried to escape, but Leviathan didn't fire missiles. It simply looked at them. Within seconds, the ships folded into themselves and vanished from existence, as if erased from reality. No wreckage, no sound, just ... gone. Leviathan had erased them with dark matter compression. It wasn't war, it was a correction. Council in chaos. The Galactic Council. Chamber was quiet. No one spoke. The message from Earth had left them shocked. Some leaders looked scared. Others looked angry. And one, Counselor Threx of the Yarvik Dominion, looked furious. "Look weak," he growled. "We are the Council. We must answer." But most disagreed. "We've seen enough." "Earth is too powerful," said Counselor Vetra. "We push more, and we risk extinction." Still, Threx didn't care. He had a secret plan. Hidden Delthrex left the Council. He returned to his private starbase there. In the darkest room of his ship, he activated a forbidden signal. It was banned by the Council for centuries. Even Malik never dared use it. Threx whispered, "I call upon the old ones. The ones outside the known stars. The ones who promised revenge. If we ever summoned them." The screen flickered. Then something answered. A voice not of words, but of shadows. "You dare call us again? Council meet." "I do," Threx said, shaking. "Earth has grown too strong. We need your power." The thing that shouldn't exist, the portal opened, but not in space. It opened in nothingness. A black hole appeared inside Threx's station, without gravity, without light. It was a wound in reality, and from it, something moved. A creature made of dark waves and echoing screams stepped out. It wore no armor. It was armor. It had no eyes, but it saw everything, and its first words were, "Where is Earth?" Back on Earthin, the Antarctic Command Center. SIGMA went silent. All screens froze. Even Leviathan paused. Admiral Rourke stared at the frozen data. "What's happening now?" he asked. Sigma finally replied, "An ancient portal has opened. One we sealed 1,000 years ago. Someone has contacted the outsiders." "Outsiders," Rourke repeated. "Entities that don't belong to this universe. We once fought them in the abyss. We lost, until Leviathan was built." Galaxy's last mistake on Threx's station, the shadow being, extended a claw. "We will help you, but we want something in return." "Anything," Threx said. The creature smiled, though it had no face. "Then give us the key to Earth's system. Drop their shields. Let us in." Threx, blinded by hate, agreed. And with a wave of its hand, the creature vanished into hyperspace. Headed toward Earth, Sigma prepares Earth back on Earth, SIGMA. Activated full defense mode, Leviathan moved again. This time, not to scare, but to fight. "The war we tried to avoid is coming," SIGMA said, "and this time, it won't be a war between civilizations. It will be between universes. The sky trembles, a strange darkness appeared above Earth's orbit. It was not a ship, it was not a shadow, it was the outsider, a creature from another universe. It did not fly, it floated through space, like it owned it. It looked like a storm made of black, fire, and broken stars, and it was coming toward Earth. Leviathan react inside the hidden control room. Admiral Rourke stared at the sky feed. Leviathan moved between Earth and the creature. Its armor shifted, like it was nervous. "SIGMA," Rourke said. "Is Leviathan afraid?" SIGMA replied, "The creature does not follow our universe's laws. Normal weapons are useless. Even Leviathan's main cannon will only delay it." Rourke clenched his fists. "Then we need more than weapons." Unlocking the SIGMA's voice turned serious. "There is something deeper, below Antarctica, sealed even from me. It's called COREO9, a weapon made in secret. Even I was told not to activate it unless Earth itself faced deletion." "What is it?" Rourke asked. "Something older than Earth's armies. It was not designed to win wars. It was made to erase cosmic threats." Journey to COREO9, a team of humans traveled beneath the Antarctic base. They entered a dark shaft, miles deep. There, behind layers of plasma doors and quantum locks, they found it, a silver sphere, floating in the air, humming with quiet power. No controls, no buttons, just one word etched into the wall. Last Sigma spoke through the chamber. "Touch the sphere. It will understand. And then it will decide if Earth deserves to survive." Activation Rourke stepped forward. He placed his hand on the sphere. For one moment, nothing happened. Then a burst of light. The entire chamber trembled. Above Earth, the Leviathan stopped moving. Its entire structure split open, and something rose out from its core. It looked human, but it wasn't. It was the final weapon. The final weapon arrives. The being floated up to meet the outsider in orbit. It had no armor, no gun, no shield. Just a glowing body made of compressed dark matter, shaped like a person, with eyes like white stars. The outsider stopped. It looked confused. Then, for the first time it spoke. "You are not a soldier." "No," the final weapon replied. "I am Earth's answer." Clash of universes. The outsider attacked. Space. Bent. Stars shook. But the final weapon did not move. With one wave of its hand, it stopped the attack, and then with a whisper it said, "Return." The outsider began to dissolve, not destroyed, but pushed back into its own universe. It screamed, and then it was gone. The portal closed. The sky returned to normal. Earth watches in silence all over the world. People watched from screens. No one spoke. They didn't cheer, they didn't cry. They just watched the stars in silence, because they all understood. Earth had crossed a line. They had a weapon that could erase beings from other dimensions, and they had just used it. The Council's darkest secret, deep inside the Galactic Council's archives. Behind layers of security, there was a room no one was allowed to enter. Even most Council members didn't know it existed. But Councilor Threx knew. He had been waiting for this moment. After the outsider failed, he had nothing left to lose. "If Earth won't fall to monsters," he whispered, "then I will unleash something even worse." He placed his hand on a hidden scanner. The door opened slowly. Inside, silence and a sealed vault made of time-locked matter. Label: "Do not open entity code." Nullreth. Thousands of years ago, the Council discovered a strange life form drifting between galaxies. It was not born, it was not made, it was left behind from a universe that had already died. It had no shape, no purpose, only one instinct: erase everything that remembers. The Council had barely trapped it, and then locked it forever. But now Threx stood before it and smiled. "Kill Earth, I release you." He pressed the override key. The vault opened. Nothing comes out. First. It seemed like nothing happened. The vault was empty. No light, no shadow, just ... absence. Even the cameras stopped working. Then the alarms screamed. Every sensor in the galaxy lost signal for 3 seconds, and then they all came back, except for 7 planets. They were simply gone, erased. No remains, no noise, just silence. The Nullwraith had awakened. Earth noticing Earth's main command room, SIGMA, Froze. Error. Unknown void. Signatures. Reality shift detected. Admiral Rourke narrowed his eyes. What now? SIGMA replied in a whisper. Not outsider. Worse. Something that erases memory, data, matter, even time. It is feeding on thought itself. Leviathan's sensors began to fail. The final weapon flickered in and out of reality. It is not killing, Sima said. It is deleting. Council breaks apart. The Council received the data from Sigma.panic.fury.fear. Threx did this, Vetra shouted. He doomed us all. But it was too late. Threx had vanished. Some said the null wraith consumed him. Others believed he merged with it now. The creature moved fast. It wasn't flying. It was unfolding across space, heading straight for Earth. A desperate plan back on Earth, SIGMA, activated Leviathan's core. We cannot fight this with weapons. Only one thing can stop it, the memory core. What is that? Asked Rourke. A forbidden backup of human thought, memories, dreams, pain, and love. All loaded into one device. It is pure identity. It is what the null wraith fears the most, because it cannot erase something that keeps remembering itself. Rourke paused. We're telling me we're going to fight with human emotion. Yes, SIGMA answered. We are going to win, with who we are. Earth prepares for the end. The Leviathan opened once more. Its inner core revealed a strange golden object, a spinning sphere of light and sound. It pulsed with whispers, laughing children, crying mothers, battle screams, love songs, heartbeats, everything that made humans human. The null wraith arrived. It began its erasure. Stars vanished. The edges of Earth's solar system faded, but the sphere lit. Uphand spoke one word. Remember. Clash of existence reality shook. The null wraith screamed, but it had no mouth. It twisted, turned, and tried to vanish. But the memory core held it in place. The Leviathan began firing memories, like weapons, not missiles, not lasers, but moments. Father holding his son. A soldier standing in the rain. A child saying, I love you. Each memory struck the creature. Each one pushed it back. Each one burned it. The null wraith screamed louder, and then it collapsed into itself. Gone. Erased by the very thing it could never destroy. A strange silence. Galaxy had gone quiet. The null wraith was gone. The outsiders were defeated. The dark matter warships had returned to their silent orbits. Leviathan powered down slowly, resting for the first time in centuries. But Earth wasn't celebrating. The command chamber. Admiral Rourke stood still. He watched the stars on the holographic screen. No cheering, no music, don't know music, just silence. We won, he said, but why does it feel like we lost something? SIGMA's final task CGMA blinked once, its voice softer than before. The galaxy fears us now. The Council is broken. They will never attack again. But they will never trust us either, Rourke nodded. Maybe they were right to fear us. Maybe, SIGMA said. There was a long pause, then Rourke turned to the control board. Send it. Are you sure? SIGMA asked. Yes, they must know the truth. The final message crossed the stars, deep into every surviving Galactic Council station. A signal arrived. One message. It was short, direct, terrifying, and full of power. A human voice spoke. We did not want war. We warned you many times. You forced our hand. You sent monsters, machines, and darkness. We answered with truth, memory, and unity. We are humanity. We are not gods. We are not demons. But if you come again, you will see what true extinction looks like. Then the screen faded to black dot, except for one line of text. Remember who ended the war. Reactions across the galaxy, the Council leaders sat frozen. No one spoke. No one spoke. No one dared to respond. Some species shut off all contact with Earth. Others began studying human tech, hoping to understand their power. A few civilizations kneeled in silence, honoring the one species that survived the impossible. The war was over. But Earth had changed everything. The real plan back on Earth, Sigma spoke to Rourke one last time. You know they will return someday. Yes, Rourke replied. But when they do, we won't just be ready. He turned toward a dark hangar opening beneath the city. Inside, something stirred, bigger than Leviathan. Older. Not even SIGMA could explain it. We will become the threat they fear in their dreams. not because we want to, but because we must never let them forget.